Let's talk about HTML colors. This is where your website starts to come alive visually. In HTML, colors can be added in different ways. So we about brief on different ways you can add those colors. In our next video, we'll be talking about the rest of them. So there we have different ways you can add colors, which you can just pick from. So we have color names, we have RGB or using values like RGB, X, and HSL. Let's start with the simplest one, which is color name. HTML supports about 140 standard color names. Instead of writing complex code, you can just write color names. We have like tomato, orange, dodger blue, medium sea green, violet, and many more. What I'm talking about is, let's say for instance, paragraph, Joshua. I guess so. Remember how to add your style attribute. The style attribute I want to use is background color. But I'll still talk about style as we move on. The background color I want to use tomato for instance. So you might not have heard of tomato color before, but yes, there is tomato color. So let's go check how it would come out. So this is it. I get me. So we have 140 standard names. You can just pick from any one of your choice. If for instance you want to choose we have violet, violet, so this violet. Okay, so let's move on. So now we can apply this that background color which I just displayed for you. This allows you to change the background of an element. For example, you can give the heading background or a paragraph a red background. So if I want to give this, oh, this is a paragraph, right? If you want to give it a red background, I'll just have background color and then red, then save my work, then refresh the browser. I get me. Now the next is text color. Okay, so background color is the style attribute of what? Background color. Now the next is text color. So this changes the color of the text itself. Instead of the default black text, because since we've been working with HTML, the default color is black. You can also make it any color of your choice. So this is what I mean. You can have color. So you want to change the text color. Let's say blue, for instance. Just make sure that whatever color you're choosing, make sure it's visible to the user. So for instance, red and blue aren't compatible though, but just for practice case, you can use that. Instead of the default black text, you can now make it blue, in red, to make white, black, anything you like. So we also have border color. So when element has a border, you can change its color too. But we'll talk about border color during CSS style. So don't let us rush things yet. Now let's move to more advanced way of using colors. Instead of names, you can also use color values. Color values like instead of names, you can use color values. So first we have RGB. So this stands for red, green, and blue. Each value goes from 0 to 255. So the maximum number you can have is 255, and the least you can have is what? 0. So we're talking about this broadly when we get to RGB colors. But for now, just take it like this. So now I'm going to write color white using RGB values. So I'll just use it R RGB, then into your brackets, you write it. Let's say I want to get color white. I'll be 255, 55. So remember I said the maximum number you can write is what? 255. This number I can write is what? 0. Let's go check it out. That's color white. I get okay, so now let's check. So you can see now it's what? It's red. I mean it's white. That's color white. If I want to get only just red, I just use this one to zero and put this one to zero. Don't worry if you don't understand it, it's fine. We still have to re-explain. Let me don't get. So once you get color white now, for instance, I'll put two red. For this, no, this is red. This is red. This is green. This is blue. Now green and blue having just like you mixing colors. You are mixing a large amount of red, red paint. I get in with there. You don't even put anything on green and blue at all. So what you should be getting is what red color. You might not really see it. That's because of red background and red text. Yes, if I want to zoom on to get green now, I'll put this on to zero, then put this on to 255. I can even mix colors. So this one put on to 100. I put it on to maybe like 200. Okay, so let's check it out. I just mixed colors. You can see the color you're getting. Okay, so the next one is X, HEX. So this is the hash symbol followed by the numbers, by numbers and letters. So for example, hashtag FF, hashtag, for instance, I say it starts with what? Hashtag FF 638647. Let's go check it out. Color we're getting. Let me remove. Okay, so this is the color we're getting. Now let me remove the background color so you can easily see faster. Okay, this is the color we're getting from that one. Now I'll say explain X too as we move on. Then we have HS. HS is for hue, saturation, and lightness. It gives you more control over how the color looks like. I'll say explain this on too as we move on. So finally we have RGB and HSLA. So the A added to the RGB and the HSL. These are just like the HSL and the RGB, just that with an extra value called alpha. So alpha controls what the transparency. So if we set it to 0.5, the color becomes what 50% transparent. Like I said, all of this from just doing summary of what HTML color comprises of. So you can use color names for simplicity or RGB, X, and HSL for more control. You can use style like backgrounds, text, and what borders. Can also add transparency using the words RGBA or HSL. So in summary, these are just colors you're using in CSS to beautify your page.